Hey everyone, and welcome back to the news. Apex Legends has been performing fantastically, both in terms of player reviews and player numbers.
And most importantly, gameplay, because I don't get shot through a fucking wall.
We pretty much all know that from being on the internet, but what might be a little bit surprising is this graph. This graph shows player counts over time.
Wow.
That big line, that's Fortnite. The small near vertical red line, that's Apex. So is Apex larger than Fortnite? No, it is not. But here's the key takeaway. It is growing at a far, far faster rate.
Wow.
The success of Apex is
crazy.
one of those things that's actually even more insane once you have the real numbers in context. So, Vince Zampella announced that Apex Legends had 25 million players in its first week.
That's fucking
insane. It took Fortnite 52 days to hit that number, according to our best guess
Only
of the numbers.
52 days.
The growth of Apex is multiple times faster, and the question really is now one of how long will this growth rate hold? Because if they can hold this for another week or two, then they will have player counts equal to what Fortnite achieved in the first half year of its life.
Wow.
In only 3 weeks. Now, the revelation of this number has once again led to an aftermarket stock rally for EA, propelling them up towards $105, which
I should have bought stocks
is
in
actually
EA.
the peak that they hit after Apex's initial success, which then, of course, corrected downwards to the more stable value of 97. For EA, it's tremendous news.
Wow.
They're near early October numbers with their stock, but still far away from their $148 peak. However, it's quite possible that just simply was above their fundamental value. Of course, we saw a general plummet of tech stocks throughout that period anyway. Overall, though, one thing is very clear. Investors see this as a fundamental change to EA's fortunes. They previously did not have an entry in the Battle Royale market. They now do, and it's an incredibly successful one based on the numbers. However, we do need to be a bit more realistic. Both games had very different launches. Fortnite Save the World was remarkably average. But after PUBG did well, Epic slapped in a Battle Royale mode, and they threw it out there. Launched Fortnite, in my view, kinda sucked. Especially the shooting, which was significantly worse than in the current version of the game. When Fortnite launched, it was clear how quickly it was made, and the seams really were showing. But at its core, the nugget of unique gameplay, the building mechanics, that was intact, and that gave Epic a unique entry into the market. From there, Fortnite's growth seems to have been, well, through traditional means. Network effect, word of...
I feel like the reason why Fortnite was so successful is that PUBG was unsuccessful. I think that if PUBG had just been functional and it had worked and the developers had a good relationship with the player base, Fortnite would have never taken off. Now, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I do really feel like Fortnite owes a lot of its success to PUBG's failure.
Of mouth. As the game improved, more people wanted to play, but they'd want to team up with their friends, so their friends would get involved. As you can see, this led to the growth rate being remarkably fast, but also remarkably consistent. No doubt being helped by them also releasing on other platforms. While Fortnite is massive now, it really seems like it's strong word of mouth that initially carried it before it kind of had the crazy success. With Apex, though, we actually see something similar but different. It's totally word of mouth driven in my view, but the
Impure right. PUBG is too serious. It takes actual practice. It isn't casual enough to succeed. If you think Fortnite is a casual game that anybody can succeed in, it's because you're literally so bad at it, you don't even know how bad you are. Like, you're so far off of the skill level of the game that you don't even realize that you're even on the skill level at all. Like, Fortnite is an incredibly complex, extremely difficult game. If you don't like that, that's fine. But you can't say it's not true.
The execution of the whole thing is quite incredible. They essentially seem to have near perfectly married word-of-mouth growth as a vehicle with the strengths of there being a big single marketing push, really leveraging the strengths of both to craft something that has ended up feeling like almost a cultural event within the games industry.
Fuck yeah.
Everyone is talking about it, basically. So by concentrating the game's hype into this small period of time,
where's the part about me?
To achieve explosive word-of-mouth growth that really Fortnite was not able to. Original Fortnite launched as a whimper that then pivoted into the Battle Royale, which then grew rapidly, but not really explosively over time. But for Apex, it really seems to be quite different. I mean, Fortnite Battle Royale was pretty much a Hail Mary to salvage the original Fortnite. Well, Apex seems to have been far more carefully planned, launching in a far more polished state, but
Can
with
you think
some
of that?
vitally
Wow.
important social mechanics. Apex is uniquely well designed for team play with its innovative pinging system and its jump master system, as well as just a wide range of character callouts and things that automatically happen that make it easy for players to get situational awareness.
That's a huge
It also
thing.
did not launch with a solo queue mode. Now, if Apex wasn't a great game, that might have backfired, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Apex is that good, and especially it's that good for team play.
It's like
now,
Overwatch.
Yeah, you can solo, and you can get match made with others, but most people would rather play with their friends. And I think that really is the core of why, well, your friends have probably been pestering you to play this game over the last week. Now, there's a lot more to go into with the
You're welcome,
success of
McConnell.
this game. I think it shows there is a hole in the market, a battle royale shooter aimed at a more core demographic. Fortnite
Shut the
really
fuck
is quite
up,
goofy.
dumbass.
I mean, it started to get worrying that it was actually bleeding into
You
the rest of
downloaded
the
it yet?
industry with the insane Battlefield skins that everyone would just go super goofy for the sake of the sweet, sweet microtransaction money. Well, with Apex, we see something really a lot more adult aimed. Well, okay, either adult or, you know, a 15-year-old who thinks that things with rounded shapes are for lame losers.
Just
Now,
like what I
think that,
said.
yeah, there was just this hole in the
Yeah.
market that was able to target very well. As much as Fortnite had been doing really well, it's clear that its art style and its tone were not working for everyone. A lot
No.
of those people have picked up Apex, but I think more interestingly, a lot of people were probably playing Fortnite because they didn't want to play the more sim-like PUBG, and Fortnite was the largest battle royale. I
Yep,
think many
that's
of
exactly
those
right.
people will now have an option that's a lot more attractive to them, that's also free. Call of Duty Blackout probably did appeal to them as well,
jeez.
but maybe not at that price.
Oh,
And that really
jeez,
is a major factor,
$60.
especially in an influencer-driven world, as much as I hate that word so much. I kind of view influencers as a little bit like leverage in a house mortgage. It kind of amplifies both the wins and the losses. But because of how our psychology works, we kind of have this survivorship bias that gives us an unrealistic view or sort of lay of the land. Now, as applied to video games, I just think that's kind of how it works. To companies, influencers kind of are that leverage where if they go with you, it's amazing. If they go
True.
against you, it's quite bad. They amplify successes and they also amplify losses, but there's kind of a key difference. There's a small number of them and they wield a lot of power. They also
Wait, was that little Yachty with the necklace that had the Call of Duty Blackout logo on it? What the fuck, bro? Like, why? Okay, alright, you know, whatever.
face a large number of social incentives. If an influencer streams a free-to-play game that their fans can also enjoy, then that has the potential to massively increase their viewership engagement and have that be a more sustainable long-term thing. So
Yep.
we see a small number of big influencers flock to a small number of games. And as always, it's the 80-20 principle rearing its head again. I mean, just take World of Warcraft. If Asmongold is streaming, or maybe Soda is streaming, the Twitch numbers for WoW double or maybe even triple.
Yeah.
You know, will that game's popularity have doubled or tripled? Probably not. But
There it
it's
is.
what you see through the Twitch numbers, and that really is the streamer leverage. I think that this is really one of the things that has propelled
Oh,
Apex.
no.
From a streamer's
I know what clip
perspective,
this
they get a
is.
new game to check out. That's great. They also get a new free-to-play game that their audience can check out. And that's even better because if their audience are into actually playing the game, then that can be a more long-term game for them to essentially main at, or at least have be their default.
Look at my head.
Then Apex was basically a
no.
cultural event, and that just acts as a positive multiplier on all of those factors. And then also, by working well with streamers, Apex has constricted the oxygen supply to other games while enriching its own.
Yep.
Bit of a strange analogy, but I mean, just get a load of these numbers. Apex Legends had 20% of Twitch viewership over its launch week, averaging 253,000 viewers, double Fortnite's 115k average. It generated 11 million more watch hours than Fortnite, but was actually streamed for 600,000 fewer hours. So there was a lower supply of Apex Legends stream content, but higher hours watched. What does that mean? It means that big name streamers, i.e. those who have an equal contribution in terms
Ninja.
of number of hours streamed,
Yep.
but a massive contribution in terms of hours actually watched, it means they flocked to it. Part of this is natural, but part of it is EA. They worked hard to get streamers on board. The likes of Dr. Disrespect attending pre-launch events for this game before it was even announced. Overall, EA As odd as this seems, they have correctly understood the value of them, and they have absolutely used that to their advantage. Do you know who doesn't do that? And I'm going to get a bit personal here.
Who
Blizzard.
doesn't do that?
I can't believe I'm saying that Blizzard need to take a leaf from EA's book, but man, they really need to.
Imagine being in a world like this is like an episode of Black Mirror. Blizzard needs to learn from EA. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, let's go.
Not to smack talk anyone, but putting safe streamers on the launcher and, you know, putting me in the launcher for that promo thing we did, that's not enough. Asmongold might be an edgy boy from time to time, but he's authentic, he has texture to his stream, he's massive, and audiences love him. In losing him as a main WoW streamer, just think about how many hours Blizzard have lost being watched in World of Warcraft. And let's be real, the likes of Sloopbag, Towley, myself, T&E, we appeal to existing WoW fans. We don't have that kind of larger-than-ourselves personality thing going on that gets us past the WoW crowd. And we're probably not going to engage new people like Asmongold would. And the reason why I bring this up is because Dr. Disrespect has been massive for this game.
Yeah.
And he's not free from controversy. He has been large for Apex. He's not clean and shiny, and that's actually part of why people like him.
No, he's not.
And for another Blizzard example, just look at QXC. You know, he got for Overwatch. People like him. And for another Blizzard example, just look at QXC.
Cheeto.
There's QXCs right there. Okay.
You know, he got for Overwatch, and then he beat Overwatch's number, streaming Minecraft the very next day.
Yep.
Understanding the leverage of streamers is going to make and break so many games. And to the people at Blizzard, and there's a few, I mean, you guys know, there's a few of you who value traditional media a lot. You're going to lose out, you're going to underperform at your jobs, the new generation is going to leave you in the dust. What else? Well, I think we just need to wait and see with Apex. Ultimately, I think this is a game that's bloody fantastic in terms of its quality. I think that it being fantastic really is at the core of why it has been able to leverage the growth strategies that I've mentioned in this video. Personally, I'm quite glad that Apex is a more core game that is doing very well.
Fuck yeah.
I just personally don't really like the more casual feeling Fortnite. Obviously, you can be played to an extremely high level, but yeah, it's just nice that because it's an industry that follows trends, it's nice to see a successful game that's very different.
That's right.
Not that Apex isn't goofy; it certainly is characterful, but I think it's in a different way to Fortnite, and that's a good thing.
Just slide down and punch him in the dick.
And it's also lovely to see something do well in the Titanfall universe, especially since. Well, you know, there's something else coming for Titanfall this year. We just don't know what
I
yet.
don't even know what that is.
Personally, I think it must be really nice for Vince Zampella and the rest of the team. Call of Duty 2 and 4 for me especially are just really special games. I played them for dozens, maybe hundreds of hours at my local LAN center, you know, winning free game time at the LAN center, maybe 20 quid, maybe just a wham bar in the tournaments we'd play. Narratively, they're also actually really strong. Call of Duty gets memed on by a lot of people. You know, you just think of the meme worthy, you know, mum get the camera, all that stuff. But trust me, there's a lot going on there. Just look at the cultural criticism that's throughout the entire of the Call of Duty 4 narrative. Anyway, seeing them struggle as that series did better, especially, you know, leaving Infinity Ward, that was kind of rough. Then seeing them struggle with Titanfall for years was kind of rough. So for them, it must be really nice to finally have that other big success, especially because it's one that is grounded in them making a really, really solid game. So there you go. That is my thoughts on Apex, how it has affected the EA game stock, what that means for the industry, the sheer
that's
the crazy
fucking
velocity of its growth, as well as the power of getting streamers on board. And yes, some little shots fired at Blizzard because, I mean, yeah, look, there's people there that are pretty out of touch. So they need to get with the game. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. And with that, I will see you next time.
And that's the tea, sis.
There it is, man. Like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, I mean, like, fuck. Just a little out of touch. Like, they honestly, Blizzard, if you're listening to this, why don't you take some of that $15 million that you're throwing away on some dude that doesn't give a fuck about it because he's already a multimillionaire? Give me like $100,000 and I'll set you up with a content plan for doing online stuff. You guys have no fucking idea what you're doing. Like, you're actually completely fucking clueless. Like, you have no idea. Like
Yeah,
anybody.
right, dude.
What?
You'd take that money and fucking spend it on fast food and more cameras.
I mean, that's too many Burger Kings, too many Baconators, too many hot dogs. I spend like maybe like $3,000 on that. All the rest of the money would probably end up going to what do you call it?
WoW tokens.